Hello and welcome to another Tinto flavor. This time we're going to be having a look at Saxony, which does not appear in the game at the start of the game. We have it split between Meissen, Landsberg, and a few little guys who don't get the privilege of having their full name on the map. But before we get into all of the good stuff that we should be looking forward to in this Tinto flavor, I just want to ask you to, subscribe to the channel before the stock markets do another loop-de-loop. And yeah, with that out of the way, let us go and have a look at what we have with Saxony. Hello, welcome to one more week of Tinto Flavor, the happy Fridays in which we take a look at the flavorish content of the super secret Project Caesar. This Wednesday, we had a Tinto Talks related to the HRA, so it may be fitting to take a look today at another German country with unique flavor content, Saxony. So, without further ado, and we have our lovely flavor text here, there was accusations of the use of AI in one of these before, I think for the Ethiopian flavor. And that is hopefully not going to be the case here again. I have been told that it was not AI, and it is just a case of the AI likes to use very flowery language, very fancy, flowery, words that you don't typically use. And the intro flavor text is also using flowery, fancy language because it's intro flavor text. It's supposed to not be like regular human speech. And I think that is where a lot of people's, AI radar detector modes have been turned on. But essentially, we as humans don't have a very long history of detecting AI, what with it being a relatively new thing. So our AI detection radars are pretty crap. Like, I would say historically, but it's not historically. It's just right now. It's something we're having to develop on the fly, and we're gonna get it wrong a lot. So sometimes something that may trip our, AI detection blah blah is just not it's just not accurate yet. So anyway, with that said, let's just have a read. The county of Meissen, a possession of the powerful von Wettin dynasty, had its origins as an eastern march of the Holy Roman Empire in the lands of the Sorbs and of the Slavic people that were rapidly Germanized. The land, densely forested in its origins, has proved to be really fertile, and the mild climate, especially near the Elbe River, has allowed the Saxons living there to develop a wine culture. The Ore Mountains separating the country from the Bohemian crown are rich in minerals, especially in silver, that fuels the economy of the county. However, its apparent richness is a double-edged sword, as the country is seen with greedy eyes by its neighbours, and they might try to conquer it. Despite the potential threats, Meissen thrives as a significant territory in Upper Saxony. Over time, the von Wettin rule has further expanded Meissen's influence and fortified it against external pressures. With its fertile lands, rich resources, and strategic location, it stands as a prominent entity in the empire, attracting admiration and envy from its neighbors. I think this is perfectly fine to have. I don't think it didn't trip any issues for me. I think it works perfectly reasonable. And again, this is, I think, text that you're gonna get when you first choose the country. I don't think it's text that's like in you're playing the game and this is popping up, right? This is just a little bit of intro flavor to the country that you're playing. Whether it's in the game or not, I actually don't know, but I hope so because I quite like these intro flavors. I suppose it's a little bit like EU4, where when you first load up as England, you get a box of flavor text, and then you can choose to see what the religion is like, the terrain is like, the region, etc. I think it's something like that. Anyway, the county of Meissen, led by Count Friedrich II von Wettin. He is a exceptionally average man, but he's probably just fine. The lands of Meissen and its neighboring country, Landsberg. So Meissen starts with a semi-unique government reform that only a few countries in the HRE have. So they are a Margraviate. A Margraviate is a historical territorial jurisdiction named after a Margrave, a count on the frontier, that serves to defend and administer the border regions of a realm, mostly focused on facing external threats. Margraviates blend military defense with governance, and the Margrave's responsibilities include safeguarding the frontier and managing local affairs, bridging the gap between the central authority and those border territories. So you're getting monthly progress to defensiveness, noble estate satisfaction and equilibrium goes up, and the army maintenance goes down. Pretty decent gov reform. Hell yeah, why not? And if you've played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Jobst, who is a prominent character in that game, is a Margrave. All right, perfect. A couple of estate privileges for countries of German culture. So we have the right to inherit. This gives you progress to aristocracy and stability investment cost minus 20%, which is quite nice. The German nobility maintains the long-standing tradition of dividing the lands and titles of the father between all the sons, ensuring the peace between brothers and avoiding unnecessary wars. Is this the one that gives you painful CK2 style gavel kind, or is that something different? Because I'm fairly sure some kind of gavel kind is in the game, right? This is something we have learned before. Is that what right to inherit is? Because it doesn't say anything here about it, but this kind of makes me feel like it is. I don't know. I also very much enjoy the fact that they tell you when it was implemented. Might not be the most important thing for, the very start of the game, but seeing how long a privilege has been on, I think is actually going to be quite useful. I'd certainly find it useful in EU4. We also have the Magdeburg rights, giving extra trade capacity, which is quite nice. Also increasing the loyalty equilibrium and the power, I believe, of the burghers. Yeah. A set of privileges that were originally drafted using Flemish law. This legal framework was spread around Central Europe via an influx of German immigrants. Centered around cultivating the liberties of the individual citizen, these rights serve to guarantee and regulate the autonomy of the local administration. Cool, good to know. Unique policy is available to German countries as well. We have the Bergordnung. It's a mining law, a policy of the mining law. So we have expended mining cost minus 20% and founding town cost minus 20%. Control of the mining privileges rests in hands of the state, allowing for flexible and efficient mining operations. This is something I'm sure that Gutenberg has in KCD2. This sounds very. I mean, it's not a German country, but it's in the Empire, so maybe. It sounds very much like something that Bohemia would have as well, with all of its silver mines. But yeah, makes sense. That's very cool. We have also a very important work of art. We have the Saxon Spiegel, which was created in 1235. It is a magnum opus. It's a compilation of traditional customary law and rulings of all over the Holy Roman Empire. It's one of the most important compilations of laws in the empire, as well as the first to be in German rather than in Latin. The Saxon Spiegel, very cool. Another few unique advances available for Meissen and Saxony for different ages. It would be nice if we saw what the formable requirements are for Saxony. So we have the Meissen Lion. The Meissen Lion, also known as the Marksmeischnische Loa. Markmeischnische. I am terrible at German, I apologize. Holds a special place in heraldry, representing the Wettin dynasty's symbol of power. The black armored lion with a red tongue gazes to the left in a golden field. Its image appears in various forms, including on painted tombstones, ensigns, helmets, coins, and seals, symbolizing the affiliation of the city of Meissen to the Mark Meissen and adorning the coats of arms of numerous towns and communities. Some link it to the recolored Thuringian lion. We also have the Meißner Groschen. The Meißner Groschen will serve as the regional currency of our nation. This coin is based on the Prague Groschen, which we will replace. This new large groschen will mark the beginning of a new era of history of our coinage, will let us control its influxes much better, get an extra 10% income from minting. We also have the Saxon Court advance, making your cabinet that bit more efficient. Saxon Court remains a pillar of public tasks in electoral Saxony's government, alongside the civil and military states. Court regulations govern the daily routine and responsibilities of officials within their offices, while the court's composition includes nobles and commoners who serve the ruling family and contribute to the government and administration of the dominion. While each adult member of the ruling family maintains their own court, we will create a big, permanent one in our capital, attracting the best minds in the realm. We also have the Fürstenschule, which is giving you an extra little bit of monthly literacy. As Reformation takes hold and the state assumes church administration, a new responsibility arises for the emerging state, education, which previously belonged to the church. To prepare for the newly founded universities, 3 Saxon schools for princes will come into being, utilizing secularized monastic property. School boards of Forta, Grima, and Meissen will be formed, overseeing and maintaining these 3 state and princely schools. Thus, the state will take on a significant role in shaping the educational landscape, fostering knowledge and intellectual growth for the future leaders of Saxony. And finally, we have Meißner Porcelain, giving you a little bit of extra monthly prestige and porcelain output. Saxony is the first European producer of porcelain, which will bring wealth and prestige to the Wettin court. Cool, I did not know that. That is available in the Age of Absolutism. So, some of the events that are available to Meissen. Early on, this event will pop up. We have the acquisition of Landsberg. Consort Magnus the Pious von Welf inherited the county of Landsberg after his marriage with Countess Sophie Ascania and wants to sell it to us. The lands of Landsberg belonged to us not long ago, and this could be an opportunity to get them back. What should we do? Originally a Wettinland, the Margraviate of Landsberg was sold to the House of Ascania in 1291. In 1347, the Duke Magnus of Brunswick-Luneburg sold the Margraviate that he inherited after his marriage with Sophia of Brandenburg-Stendal, Margrave of Landsberg, back to Margrave Frederick of Meissen, reuniting the Wettinlands once again. Yes, lands belong to us is the book option. Sold for a reason is if you want to do that. But for 12 ducats, yeah, I'll take a loan for that. And then you just annex Landsberg. You double the size of your country. I mean, I guess this is 12 ducats in beginning of the game cost. But, I mean, does say early on, and it happened in, 10 years after the start of the game, historically, so I doubt it's going to be that much more expensive. I don't think anyone is clicking it was sold for a reason, unless there's something very different going on. So anyway, it leads to this result, Meissen owning all the land. Yeah. And we have no idea what you get for the other option. I kind of would like to know what the other option is, because there might be something very interesting there. I doubt it, but certainly nothing on this level. So, we also get a gift from the Emperor. Holy Roman Emperor Ludwig IV von Wittelsbach, the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire and father-in-law of our ruler, Count Friedrich II von Wettin, sent a generous reward for our loyal services in Brandenburg. Friedrich II of the Wettin dynasty was a loyal ally of Emperor Ludwig IV during his reign. Married to Ludwig's daughter Mathilda, he was a key ally in the stabilization of the Margraviate of Brandenburg after it was acquired by the Wittelsbach dynasty. For his work and steady support of the Wittelsbacher emperorship, he was rewarded with support in his efforts in both Thuringia and Meissen. So you can add whatever you get from the treasury or use it to mint a new coin, the Meistergroschen. Second option is the old historical interesting one. Meistergroschen giving you an extra half a trade efficiency. New coin improves the economy of Meissen, facilitating transactions and smoothing the transfer of the capital. It seems like very little, but we've heard that like the tax efficiency and trade efficiency modifiers in E5 are actually quite decent. So that is probably what you want to do. No idea what added to your treasury does. Probably just get a lot of money. We also have some late game events, which are very fitting for a Saxony playthrough. We have Johann Sebastian Bach, the virtuous composer from Eisenach, and now living in Leipzig, has been heard complaining about the high cost of living in Leipzig and the low salary he is receiving as Thomas Cantor. He has also shown his desire to be a court musician in our capital. So, Johann Sebastian Bach was a composer of the Baroque era and the most celebrated member of a large family of northern German musicians, although he was admired by his contemporaries primarily as an outstanding harpsichordist, organist, and expert on organ building. Bach is now generally regarded as one of the greatest composers of all time, so you can either bring him to the court or you don't need him. We also have the Zwinger. After observing the magnificence of the palaces that some rulers across the continent have built, our ruler Count Friedrich von Wetten has toyed with the idea of starting his own project. With some indications from our count, the court architect has presented an ambitious plan to create a grand palace and garden complex with interiors that would serve as exhibition galleries and library halls. Our ruler is excited, but some wonder if we should spend the money in the huge project. So, the Zwinger palatial complex with gardens in Dresden, Germany, stands as a crowning achievement of the Baroque period. Designed by architect Matthaus Daniel Poppelmann, it shares the renown with the iconic Frauenkirche as one of Dresden's most celebrated architectural monuments. Originally serving as an orangey garden and festive gathering spot during Augustus the Strong's rule, the Zwinger's grand pavilions, galleries adorned with sculptures and ornate vases show the opulence from the era. Very cool. And historically, they did it. So the Zwinger is a building that can be created, gives your nobles a bit more power, but in return you get cultural tradition and cultural influence. We have a new style UI, right? This is new, right? Because let us have a look at previous Saturday buildings. Let's go with the most recent Saturday building. We can see this is what we used to have as our UI. And now we're looking at this. So instead of this thing being spread along the top, it's now kind of split into half. And, that's kind of fine. And then the required production method is also, I guess maybe this is just kind of squished because there's more needed. But yeah, that could be it. But you require furniture. I think this is one of our. Did we see the icon for furniture yet? Because I think this is the first one potentially. Furniture, tools, glass, fine cloth, books, gold, and marble as your production method. So if you want these bonuses, you're gonna have to keep your market stocked with these things. The palatial complex serves as a festival and garden era. Alright, and last but not least, we have the possibility of unifying the Saxonian region into a proper tag. So it's a tier 1 formable. To form Saxony, the following must be true. Meissen has the Prince Elector status in the Holy Roman Empire. So essentially, just become an elector and you can click button to form tag. Which, okay then. There is much more, but that is all for today. Next week will be another intense week, since on Monday they'll be taking a look at the feedback for Western Africa. On Wednesday, there will be a Tinto Talks devoted to the Catholic religion and the Catholic Church I.O. And then on Thursday... apparently Friday is an important day for Christians. I don't actually... Ascension? Something like that? I actually don't know. The 18th of April? I don't know. Either way. So yeah, we'll have a Thursday Tinto flavor next week about the Papal States. I suppose that goes very well with the Catholic Church I.O. So that is what we're getting, and I am an fan. Saxony is a tag that I have played before, and quite enjoyed. It is one of the more interesting... it's kind of squished between very strong and interesting Bohemia and then very historically relevant, strong, interesting Brandenburg. But it does manage to have its own reasons for playing it. So I think it is pretty cool, and it is a tank that I will be playing. It's not one of the... I suppose if you're involved in a Tinto flavor post, you're probably worth playing, and this certainly seems like one of those times. But let me know what you guys think. Are you going to be playing as the County of Meissen and forming the Prince Elector of Saxony? Let me know in the comment section below what you're most what you're most interested in for Meissen Saxony. But until next time, I will be back on, I believe, Sunday, probably, where I will be making a video about the responses and comments and commentary and replies and all that from the devs based on, the comment sections of these Tinto Talks. So I hope to see you then. Subscribe to the channel, like it if you do, leave me a comment, and I'll see you on Sunday. Bye-bye.